Hey everyone. This week I'm doing the earnings preview as a separate video because I think it's cleaner. First, short recap of last week. CLF pumped, then dumped. Earnings were pretty shit, and the only reason he pumped it was because the rare earth kind of pump thing that they said they were trying to make some rare earth mines as well. So, in my opinion, this is still in an uptrend. We kind of reached our target with that pump on Monday last week. Could go slightly higher, but what I kind of expect is if the market is in good shape, and it should be for at least this week or until mega cap earnings, is for this to go back higher over the next couple of weeks, but kind of do or like a double top kind of thing and do a bearish divergence. So basically, it will do this. It has a or maybe just the top of the Bollinger Band like this, go here, and then maybe break down. If he can start expanding the Bollinger Bands, he can go higher, but still kind of expect a double top type move and on a bearish divergence, and basically we kind of topped out because new mines and new technology means more depth. Like earnings will be shit for the foreseeable future. It will take them years to get that up and running. So CLF, I think it's done with this move here. Expect a retest, get the fuck out, and move on. STLD, much better looking, like it's breaking out more or less. We'll see if it clears this previous high as well, like this here. But other than that, I think it will do the move till the end. Xeon, nothing burger so far. Maybe still gets rejected, but nothing to note. Coke went up, faded previously, afterwards. Still looks good. I expect a rebound reconnect and then go higher. We'll see. G, this is an interesting one. Like initial pump got faded completely from earnings and then went lower. Still bouncing on the ribbon, but this looks very tired. Uh, this looks like a ribbon rejection, and I think it will finally play out in the on the downside eventually. Like a couple more days of Bollinger Bands movement, but this will almost certainly get a 55 EMA retest, like this is 288. And if it loses it, we can do a flush and do the AV WAP reconnect here at 250. So this is kind of my expectation because it looks very tired, and even good earnings couldn't get it to move up. So we also have like a large print here. I think this was the number one print that I still have marked here from end of May. So it's due time to have this type of move relatively soon. And my take that you will hear in the weekly video, the market review video, is that the market can really go much higher than this, but we can have dispersion, meaning some stuff goes up, some other stuff goes down to compensate. So market kind of slowly grinding up, and slowly, I do mean slowly, like point 0.2, point 0.3 each day, something like that. Uh, and we should be seeing various names top out in a significant way. Most likely, mega caps will do well for earnings. We have another surge of mega cap in mega caps or in some of the names. Some do poorly, some do well, and markets kind of correct sideways as well. Like imagine G does this. Some other names will go up to compensate. ELV nothing burger, LMT nothing burger. Still think this is true. Like we had a pullback until it confirms the breakdown. I would expect a bounce here. We shall see how it plays out. PM tried to go down and recovered. Still looking constructive and for this move up, especially since with the recovery. 3M went up, now kind of reached the target of this pennant, and we'll see where it goes from here. GM broke out, major breakout to like we have the full cup and handle formed, and now it's going higher. This was the target for this, basically this, and this was the target for that. No, that's the full target. So full cup and handle target will be like 86. Netflix looks really bad. Had the number one premium day on options on the 23rd, so on Thursday, not on Friday. I don't like it. I have a suspicion that we have seen a generational top in Netflix. Of course, it might bounce a bit and move around in those sideways, do something like this. Come on. Like go down, go up, do something like this. But I have a sneaking suspicion that this is a generational top in Netflix. I expect Netflix to be one of the large cap names that underperforms moving forward, just like the top in 2021, uh, which started in January, like here, around here. We had names that topped out significantly before that, like 1.5 months before that, Meta as well, and so on. So I think that the playout will be very similar here going into January. And Meta is one of the names I think has topped out and will not see the highs for quite a while. Like generational top means this is the high for the next 10 years. Again, speculation, don't take my word for it, but this is my feeling right now with Netflix. SRG pumped, nothing to say here. Take said dumped but recovered. Still kind of unknown. I think we may see like a low retest this week here, like 163. And if this holds and doesn't make new lows, then we can talk about a potential breakout here. There's no reason for this name to be dumping like this. Like I think there's a higher chance that we see some kind of play out like this than a full breakdown. If we get a breakdown, target is 150. We have some gaps, unfilled gaps here, actually only one, and this is a demand zone. So I would expect a good opportunity to go long if we somehow go to 150. Mattel was a strange one, but in a positive way somewhat. Like this dumped 20% pre-market. When the earnings were announced, not pre-market, were aftermarket, but this had a god candle down and recovered by open quite a bit. And like seeing this type of attempt to go lower get bought out and then continuation up reinforces my belief that this will break out very soon. And remember the long-term setup, like we saw here, this type of surge is expected. So I continue to be a believer both in Mattel and Hasbro. From the long-term breakout, 29 target should be okay. This one, don't remember this one. No idea. Tech, nothing happened. Tesla went down, recovered, still quite bullish. Like this is a back test until proven otherwise. Like breakout, and then like this. IBM also this type of like went down 7% pre-market, actually opened at the lows and did a huge recovery. Target is still like 330-ish. Broke down. It got horizontal support, let's say, no idea. AA had a positive earnings move, going to target at 43. KNX, no idea. FCX, nothing. Oh, Honeywell breakout. Like I would expect some consolidation here, maybe build like a pennant, something like this, before another leg up, but this should continue up eventually. Though breakout, I mentioned that we may get a backtest to 23, and we did, but it was on the same day, not the next day. So it was 23.50 something. This candle here, like it moved higher, then it did this candle here to 23, and then continued higher. So we didn't get a next day pullback, but we did get an intraday pullback to the 55 EMA and actually bounced from it. So it's a very strong sign. I expect that to continue higher for the foreseeable future. Hasbro, same kind of thing with Mattel. Like it tried to go down, but did like God green candle. What's this? 12% reversal, and it's looking good for the long-term chart at least. Like go to 90, should do okay. Intel kind of nothing, kind of badish, got getting rejected here. Deck minus 15 on the day, but I mentioned this previously. I think this is a good demand zone here. If it gets to like 80 long-term trend line, uh, might be a buy then. And PG try to break out and fade it. So this means likely that we need more consolidation. We still have this good looking pennant here, and also have CL earnings today, not this today, this week. So what I think will happen is like more sideways, but eventually still leading up to a breakout because I think staples are making a comeback. Now let's move on to this week's earnings. The full list is larger, like we have a bunch of names, Sophie, UNH, PayPal, UPS, lots of big names this week. Boeing, Verizon, Visa, MasterCard, Starbucks, LLY, and of course the mega caps Amazon, Apple, Meta, Google. Where are those? Here, Meta, Microsoft, Google, and so on, Carvana. So lots of big names reporting this week, but I only marked a few because I liked what I saw. And we have first some names that I have no idea about, first time seeing them basically. This is CRI's, Carter's, apparently footwear. Uh, this is down a lot, but a lot of the footwear names look kind of good. Like we have, what's the name? So Crocs is also, sorry, Crocs is also on the list, looking kind of good. Nike still looking kind of good, even though it gave all the earnings pump and went even lower actually. What was the name of that one? The one that has Timberlands? FHN? No, I don't remember. But anyway, some the footwear names are starting to look good. This kind of has a good setup, like an inverted head and shoulders with a target of 40, like 40, 42 area. If it realizes we went to a full demand zone and actually went for the lows of it. Like if we do like a weekly, we went all the way down to the full demand area, and it's looking kind of good. Again, you cannot play this for earnings anyway because it reports before market. But if this has a positive move, this could be a good chase. Like maybe it goes to 35 pre-market if it's a positive move. It's still okay to go in. This seems small, but it's like 30% the full move from here. So if this doesn't give a negative move, it could be like a good 30% run play. And it could even go negative, like if you see something like it has a negative reaction but holds the ribbon, like holds this area here and then bounces, and over the next couple of days like does this basically accumulation for a breakout. Once that breakout moves, it could do this whole 40 move, which is 30%, around 30%. So good potential here. It's only based on TA, nothing else, so take that with a grain of salt. Then we have BMRC, regional bank, uh, looking pretty good here. Like this is like an ascending build out into for a breakout. Earnings pre-market, like I said. Uh, a breakout move gives it a like 35, 36 target. And that's it. Like and lots of huge horizontal level here. Big level to capture again. Also have the AV up from the high. So flipping this is quite bullish. Uh, but I wouldn't say we are out of the woods until we actually have a close above this AVU up and the horizontal area. So how I expect it to play out is move higher from a single move, maybe from earnings, consolidate a bit, and then eventually start a new leg up and go to like 35, 36. Car, I think uh, we had this TA setup. I think we had some flow in it as well. Waiting to see if it breaks out and goes higher. If it does, target to 40. Newey. So CLF is dog shit, but as we saw with STLD, which went up on the benefit of their earnings themselves, same we can see with Newey, and it has a much better setup than like it's hard to say that STLD will perform well and Newey not perform well as well. So I would expect this to do like this is a bull flag. We go higher. Next leg should be around the same size, target of 180ish, 175 to 180 area. Sophie. So Sophie has earnings on Tuesday before market. Uh, this is looking quite bullish for the long term. Short term, I have no idea. Like I don't like this rejection here. Maybe just consolidation ahead of earnings. If it starts a new leg up, it could be quite significant. Like I don't know. Let me think a bit. Something like so 38, 40. Probably like 40 would be an initial target for another leg up for Sophie. This consolidation is quite good. And if somehow it goes down, most likely this 24, 25 area will be support, and it's a good entry for the eventual move that will be to 40. So the bearish case would be something like or the bearish outcome would be something goes here and then bounces, goes like this, and eventually goes to 40 as well. Then we have UNH. We had Moch last week with the dump, uh, and we retested the lows here. Uh, Concerning thing is that we have the bleed program back for UNH. It's not. It's like 30% of the intensity it had before, but it's still there. Uh, if it wasn't for that, I would be. This looks constructive, like something like this. An ascending flag into sideways correction. This should go higher, but I don't know. It depends on earnings. If it does go down for earnings, like I would expect we fill the gap here to 270. I don't think we see a low retest, although it's possible. I would need to we need to check it afterwards. And this is like 25%, uh, pretty big as well. So either the gap start holds or we go for the full gap fill. Maybe both, but over multiple days. Like the initial move, if we have something like Moch, would be something going to 300, and we still bleed out and fade for the next couple of days, go to 270. And I think this would be like a decent buy if it goes here. UPS, like it went above the ribbon, but it's still weak. I think government shutdown will affect it. I would assume government sends packages through them as well, and they have reduced business. Like this doesn't look like a healthy chart. Even if we go higher, I think we get rejected here, and we do like a low retest. We do this. So I don't think UPS has a strong chart right now. And even if we go slightly higher, I don't see them doing like a blowout earnings or anything like that. It seems the environment is not just it's just not favorable for them. So maybe something like this. But when we get the low retest, I think we do have a bottom forming. We are at the COVID lows levels, so this should hold because it's a high quality demand area here. But I think it needs more swings in this low area around 85 before it can go higher. And there's not a lot to say. Like if it has good earnings, I think this will do a monster move, like at least 50. 50 could be like over a couple of days. If it has bad earnings, maybe low retest, looks uh, undecided, but constructive. STX, this is just like the memory names have had this huge run. We have this number one print that came in here at the September OPEX, and so far, like we had a pump above it, went below it. It's kind of acting as support, but if this has a negative reaction, this could go back to 158, this area here, very quickly. And EE is on the list because we had some flows to 115 if you remember last week. 105, sorry, not 115. We have the cup formed. Maybe we get a handle here to like 78.80, and then we had the full move. Could also just keep going higher. I don't know. Just long term, I expect this to go higher. Short term, we need some consolidation here for the handle to go to build up some more. Verizon. So Verizon looking pretty shit, but we are at the lows of the range. We have a bullish divergence here. So the thing to look out for is lack of strong weakness. Like we had some big candles getting us here. Not that huge because it's Verizon and it doesn't move a lot anyway. -5 is huge for them. -3, 4 is okay. So if we see something like this, we could see a bounce. So weakness on the earnings that doesn't break down below 37 is pretty fine-ish. So I would expect it has a tendency to also go like moving the range for quite a long time. Like we have here, we have here, here. So I don't see a reason why it wouldn't continue moving range bound and go back to the highs of the range in this scenario. Maybe not all the way to the highs, but like even small moves in the stock price would, for this, for going from 38 to 41 is like a double up, triple up on even 2-3 months out options because it has very low IV. So baseline target would be the middle of the range. Maybe it gets reached or maybe not, but it could go as high as 45. BA, nothing really interesting here, but I'm really curious about earnings because we had all that bearish flow for it. I need to adjust this. We'll see how it plays out. It had bearish flow, but chart is still holding out. Nothing really concerning about it. It's just consolidation. Really curious if the negative earnings plays a negative flow pays off. Then we have mega caps. Again, nothing really interesting in my opinion. Not uber bearish, not uber bullish. This was the number one print from OPEX, or the large print. I don't think it was number one for Meta. And we see it became a top. Could go up and retest it, this, but I don't really think we break out. Like this is a backtest of the lost trend line basically, and it's normal to do the retest, but this would getting rejected here will open the door for the bigger move down later on, like for January, and do like the EVU up thing. No, it's already done. In theory bullish, but it's difficult to recapture this level. Microsoft, really unexpected setup in my opinion, or like this consolidation at the all-time highs into resistance, Bollinger Band squeezing basically. It's unusual because I find it difficult to believe in the breakout if it happens. But if the earnings move is strong again, like remember that this was a blowout earnings and it got fully faded. And if that didn't stick, what does the market even want Microsoft to post basically? Like we already got a huge earnings beat and the move got faded. the threshold is really high. So I kind of expect Microsoft to be the one of the mega caps underperforming. The ones I think are going to continue performing are like Meta, Microsoft's look kind of weak. Google looks very strong. Uh, Amazon looks good to do this, at least. Apple looks good to continue moving higher and hit the trend line. So like 285-ish, something like this. So we have Netflix, we have which is weak. We have Microsoft, which potentially is going to be weak. We have Meta, which looks okay short term, but doesn't seem to be able. I don't think it will be able to break out. Like we could even see, looking at it, like it's like an inverted head and shoulders. Let me redraw it. Something like this. Then we do this, and then on the and we have do this, and then if we get rejected a third time here, we potentially go down. See what the target would be for the double up. Yeah, pretty much this. So like 610, fill this gap here. Sounds about right. So yeah, something like this for Meta. So short term potentially bullish. AI stuff. Microsoft, I don't know. Again, don't recommend playing any of this, especially for the mega caps. It's kind of all over the place. But if this didn't stick, what the fuck do they need to do to break out? And it's a very big resistance here. Like if it were to break out at this spot, it would do a move similar to this one, like a huge move that keeps going and going and going. CMG still waiting for the move into the demand zone. I don't recommend playing this bullishly until we get to this 35-37 area. Carvana, some similar to um, Boeing. It had bearish flow. It had some bullish flow for the short term, like to 340, and that paid off. But it has bearish flow long term, and I would expect this to go lower. Um, yeah, Melly. I don't know about this one. I only put it on the list to warn about that. If this has a negative reaction and it loses the trend line, this has a lot of room to drop. So basically, baseline would be 150, 1600 basically, but this could go like to 1200. Starbucks looking kind of okay. Uh, we are above the ribbon. Would expect like a back test and go. There's a bit of a resistance here at the AV up, but if this goes up, we can see like 110 if this can break above the AV up. ASTL, so this is steel again, and this is Canadian steel. Didn't really react to the positive moves in CLF and STLD because it's getting tariffed. But I think it has if this breaks out here, it has a lot of potential to go. Like I think target would be to actually get all the way here to the 10 area. So keep an eye on it for the breakout. If it goes back like on a low retest, I think this is a buy on the low retest, like at 330-ish. uh, because eventually I think this moves higher, and a breakout could be quite significant, going back to the IPO price. LLI, nothing really interesting to see here, but I'll remind you we had that flow with the spread suggesting we retest the high area. Roblox was kind of shit. Like it's been trying one bounce on the 55 PMA area, second bounce and we went below, third bounce here but still looking weak. And you see like this is the ribbon was expanding, getting bigger and bigger. Then we went and made new highs on a thinner ribbon, and now we made new highs on a even thinner ribbon. So this is looking quite bad in my opinion. It's just asking to go lower. And since this surge up was quite big, the correction is going to be significant as well. So I would expect Roblox to eventually do this move to the 100 area. When you lose the 55 EMA, usually see a surge. So if the earnings reaction is negative, and by the way, this can happen before the earnings somehow, which are first day before market, I think this will happen. Then we have Crocs. Like I said, the shoe names are starting to look pretty good. Uh, Low retest consolidation here, still quite bad and could do this as well. But if we do not make new lows, this is a bullish sign. And either a move up and potential breakout here would be good, or a move down that still holds the area and doesn't make new lows. I think it's quite constructive for the name, and eventually it will lead to a breakout. Uh, just keep an eye on it. Like, I'm not saying play it now, but this is starting to look quite constructive, and wanted to show the weekly chart. We see candle here going down, recover, candle here, recovered, candle here, recovered, while making higher lows. And when we look at the monthly, look at these monthly candles, like with the week down week. Try to go down, week back up. Try to go down, week back up. Try to go down, week back up. And just like you see here, upper wicks are quite negative, and it led to this move here. The lower wicks are a sign that this is starting to bottom, and it's bound to make a move higher within a reasonable time frame. Like, most likely in this quarter, by end of quarter, it will try to break out and move higher. And the main thing is all the names in the sector are showing this, not just Crocs. It's not a singular thing like on kind of the same look here, trying to it's no longer making new lows. It's trying to find the bottom here and eventually move higher. Okay, Amazon, still like Amazon, we have flows trying to target higher strikes. I have a position on this one as well. Will hold through earnings. Apple, like I said, looking quite constructive. I think it goes higher to 280 eventually. Reddit, I don't know why I left this one because no idea. This is because of STX, so the two non-American names consolidating. They have a very high threshold for earnings, expectation-wise, to go higher, in my opinion. We'll see how both STX and Western Digital play out. Uh, Rocket companies, this had that number one trade, I think here. Don't remember exactly when it was. Somewhere in this area. IPO area, trying to flip it as well. Like, I am bullish this, I have a long-term position, just waiting to see what happens. Okay, net. Like I explained with Roblox, like we have this thinning ribbon showing a loss of momentum, and when this goes below the 55 EMA, it should do at least an AVU up move, but I don't think it's ready there, quite ready yet. So when it does eventually go below the 55 EMA in a convincing fashion, it should go to this 175. But from what I saw, like I was looking at the Bollinger Bands as well, I think this just goes sideways for a while. Like more and more, show more weakness. And if earnings isn't the thing that makes it move, I think it will eventually just do this naturally. If it goes up, like we have this resistance trend line here at 240-ish, if it does the move now, and it could start another expansion phase, but I still think this will be like a top area. Like, imagine if we have this move here, like it's a bullish earnings reaction. How big is this? 10%. So a 10% move doesn't have to be a single day, like it could be like 3% up and then continue higher to get the full move. This will still be very non-momentumy. Let's call it. Like it's not a big surge like it had here and then keeps going and going. It's going to be a move that gets a bit of expansion, but it will still be thinner than this part here. So still show a lack of momentum when it goes up, and I would expect that it will top out in this area to 40, and eventually still do the move to the AVU up, which the AVU up will do something like this. It will start going higher. So it won't be to 175. It'll probably be like to 200 if it happens like in January. Then we have another steel name, Olympic Steel Zeus. This is from Cleveland as well, and looks decentish from a bottoming perspective. Like this is a kind of a low retest. We'll see how it plays out. Also to keep an eye on it if it has a breakout here. So I don't recommend playing this until it has a breakout. If it has a breakout, we could see like a move to the top of the range here at 40, 42. So breakout would happen at 30ish. We play from 30 to 43, which is like 30 something percent. So still a pretty big move. Just keep an eye out on it in case the steel names continue moving higher in sync, which I think they will do, but mostly due to STLD and UE. Then we have team, uh, lows of the range, demand area. Not a very good one, but still a demand area because it was tapped multiple times. What I'm thinking is this is a range bound move. We are at the lows of the range. I would expect this to go higher if it's okay. Like even I would prefer this to go down on a bullish divergence. Already we had one like here, and you see the divergence anyway. I would prefer this to go down, and then the dip will get bought. This has a potential to do like one of the candles like IBM did. So a negative earnings reaction, and then it turns green somehow, or the toy names did like Hasbro and the other one, Mattel. So something like this would be possible pre-market, but I would expect this to recover. And since we are at the lows, the range has the potential to go back to the highs, like move from 150-ish to 240-ish to play the full range. Even a move to the mid range, like we saw here, and then like it will take. So this is the ribbon. Ribbon goes something like this. We go to the middle of the range, which is 195 to 100. We pull back to the ribbon to consolidate a bit, and eventually the move to the highs of the range happens. Something like this. XOM has earnings on Friday. Now, this is the large print from March OPEX. It gave us a move down. Then we retested it, rejected strongly. Retested it, rejected strongly. Retested it again, rejected strongly. But ever since this September retest, we it even went above it, and we keep making higher lows into it. And on Friday, we went back below it, so maybe do this again. But this is clearly a breakout build up, and I think we will get a move to the 125 area relatively soon. Like it's still acting at resistance and not letting it pass, but this 115 level is getting weaker and weaker, and maybe earnings on Friday is the catalyst it needs to go to do the final breakout and push higher. But even if it doesn't, like one scenario would be this, the bullish one from earnings, something like this here. But even if it doesn't, like if it keeps making higher lows, this is still constructive, and I would expect it to play out like this eventually. CL. So I talked about which one was it? Not Johnson and Johnson. PG, Procter and Gamble, which, like I said, looks constructive. We had a positive earnings move. I expect CL to eventually bottom as well. Negative earnings move like this 74 area. I think it's a good dip buy. It's a low of the previous range. previous high here as well. So if we get a negative move, like I said, I don't know if we bottom immediately, just like PG, we could see some more another low retest and some swings, but I think the staples or the this specific staples are bottoming in this area, and we will get a big move up in within this quarter. I'm almost certain, like something like this. So it's a falling wedge that is getting tighter and tighter, and when this happens, it's usually a bullish sign. And we saw it here, but it tends to do a last leg down for the fake out, like it did here. This last leg down would be this move here to the 74, 75 area if it does. But still think this will bottom and start going higher. And finally, Dominion Energy. It has a fully formed cup and handle with a potential for a breakout here, making lower highs. We kind of have a pennant. I don't think this is higher lows, not lower high. Oh no, lower highs, higher higher lows. So fully formed cup and handle. Breakout here gives us a 84 target, so the previous all-time high area. Is looking pretty ready to do this move. So yeah, watch for earnings. If we get a close above, I don't know, 62, 63, I think it's a given, and you can even wait for it to move higher and then play the long game with an expected move to the 85 area within the next 6 months or so. Okay, so that is for earnings. Also do the market overview. That's it for now. Have a good one. Bye bye.